It was one hell of a shit show late last year as we were approaching the 2nd of November, where prayzah was scheduled to drop his 9th studio album titled Chitubu. There was a growing sentiment that it was going to be a flop, and some journalists didn't help matters. In stepped the Fresh Prince of Sunday Mail, Prince Inshallah. I mean, the guy rolled up his sleeves and started throwing body shots at prayzah's body of work. And he felt the pain. I mean, we all did. I mean, Prince's article was so bad, he was nearly run over by some Team JP hooligans with a blue Toyota. I mean, I condone whatever they did. That wasn't right. Because he was at his favorite watering hole. And man, you don't kill a person at his favorite watering hole. You're already compromising his position with his maker on their first meeting. That ain't right. I condone that. But on the other hand, man, Prince, you had it coming. That article was scathing, savage. Jesus! Hello Zimbabwe, my name is Miracle Love, and today I'm going to be doing a review of prayzah's album titled Chitubu. It's been 3 months since that album dropped, so I want to see how well it did. Was it a total flop, or maybe it was just a hoax that was somehow embedded in our minds? So let's get straight into it. So on this album, prayzah followed the very same blueprint he has been using for the past 3 or so albums, There's always going to be a danceable song, like the Ndindambatas, the Erizas, and now we have the Dangerouses and the Chigundurus. Okay? And then next, you always have that traditional song, or maybe an up-tempo song with Chinyakare inside. Yeah, like the Mchinji Kwas, the Sambas, the mirror version. And now we have the Hakatas, the Sarais, And also, his theme songs always have the same kind of sound, which is, I think, where the point, or the way Prince was bringing out his point where he was saying prayzah is plagiarizing his music. Like, the sound is almost always the same. Because if you look at Chiyo, Kumbumbra Mute, Jerusalem, and now there's Chitubu or Zamtsana, they follow the same trend. And for me, I think it's going to work because it's a gold mine for the future. Imagine 50 years or so from now, prayzah can be able to say, I'm going to release a traditional album of all my traditional songs. I'm going to release a dance album of all my danceable songs, or all my title tracks. I mean, that's a gold mine of cash right there for the future. And I mean, these blueprints work. I mean, one of the highest selling rappers of all time, Eminem, used the same blueprint, when he was still a stoner, of course. In his albums, you always knew that there was always going to be a diss aimed at his mom, a diss aimed at his ex-wife, a diss aimed at a celebrity of his choice, and also there was always going to be that crazy, crazy song that got you wondering, and always that dark theme song where, those ones which those guys who make those Illuminati videos go for their inspiration. That was the standard, and we always came to expect these 5 type of songs on that album. And prayzah is doing the very same thing. We expect those very type of songs, the traditional song, the danceable song, the theme song to be the same way. And that strategy is working. Now, let's get into the streams. Let's get into YouTube, how this album is performing. Now, up to date, the album has managed to garner over 6.6 million views on YouTube. That's a lot. And Chitubu is contributing around 2.6 million views of the total 6.6. But that's a lot. In 3 months to garner 6.6 million views, yeah, he's doing pretty well. And on top of that, last year, prayzah's channel was the second most viewed channel in the whole of Zimbabwe, just behind Stuart Nyamayaro. And if you want to analyze it further, Stuart Nyamayaro posts music videos every single day from a whole lot of artists and other political videos or whatever. But prayzah doesn't post videos regularly, but he's still competing with the guy. Prayzah, it just shows you one thing, prayzah is marketable. Prayzah is the shit. right now, at this very moment. So now let's go to the videos. The first video which he released was Zamtsana, and Zamtsana was dope. I mean, the location from Binga, the concept, everything, it was just dope. And that's why it garnered that many views. But then the second one, Follow Me was a flop. For me, I didn't get the sense why he chose to do the Follow Me video, because from the audio streams, Follow Me was one of the least streamed songs on YouTube. But I think he was banking on Pato Ranking's pulling factor. He used the same concept which he used on Watoramare to say bring in diamond platinums, and this pulling factor is going to increase the number of views. But this time it didn't work, and it was total flop, that one. But then he learned his lesson, and I liked it. The guy learned his lesson and realized, you know what, this time around we need to bring in a female. I mean, we need to bring in that girl which most men lust after. Most Zimbabwean men lust after. And instead misread, you know. And this Kunerima video, it was dope. I mean, the PR management of his is just dope. I mean, firstly, they released a picture of him and Misread in a compromising position, you know, and the Grapevine did its work. The Grapevine did its wonders, marketing the song. But they didn't know that they were marketing the video. And when the video dropped, it was a jam. It was a hit. He broke his own record in the first day. In the very first hours, he managed to garner around 100 and something views. I'm not quite sure the numbers, but he broke his own record. But, you know, we all know Winky D came up with his tipper full of jecha and, you know, put it all on everything. I mean, Japreza's video right now is not even in the top trending list at this very moment. You know, that's how good that Winky D video was, you know, of Mgarden. I mean, as Zimbabweans, we have a soft spot for white women. I don't know for whatever reason. Where Stu Jem was singing in Shona. I mean, that was a coup, total coup. You know, ED must learn from that. You know, that was a perfect coup. And, you know, late last year, if you remember very well, when Kirsty Covent was announced as the Minister of Sports, I mean, we nearly forgave Zanopia for that. I mean, yeah, that's how soft we are towards white women, for whatever reason. I mean, so for me, that's the only reason why Japreza's video was underperforming, but generally, it performed really, really well. So now let's get to the streams. I'm going to be focusing on Apple Music, because I think that's where, you know, most Zimbabweans stream their music. Okay, so on Apple streams, since this Chitubu album dropped, it's been averaging at least 6 songs every day. Okay, so at least 6 songs are being streamed from this very album. At the time of writing, at the time of shooting this video, there were 9 songs in the top 100 most streamed songs in Zimbabwe. Chitubu had 9 songs in the top 100. You know, that's how good that album is. That's how good these guys are playing his music. You know, forget the streets. If the streets are not feeling the music, you know, don't believe the hype. The guys were actually giving this guy money from the streams, are actually streaming this album more than they're streaming Winky D, Oliver Mtukudzi, or any other artist for that matter. Because in the top 100 list, you know, there's only around 12 to 15 local songs every day. 12 to 15 local songs. And you're always guaranteed that of those 12 to 15 songs, 50% of those songs belong to Japreza. And 50% of the songs are off the Chitubu album. Yeah. So people are really listening to that album. You know, forget the combis, forget the bars who are not vibing to this music. People are actually listening to this album. You know, and you know, it makes a whole lot of sense as well, because XQ, his 2 songs, Zenza and Sikanzwa, you know, these 2 songs have been trending ever since he dropped his album, and these songs have been streamed every single day. These songs are always in the top 100. So it tells you that these MTN guys are focusing on the streams, you know, which brings me to the very coin of music industry. There are 2 sides of this coin called the music industry in Zimbabwe. There are the streets and the streams. Now, if you go to Zimdanso, the business model of Zimdanso is based on the streets, not on the streams. On the other hand, I think Japreza and his team are focusing more on the streams. And that's why he's dominating the streams, and that's why he's got a distribution deal with Universal Music. Okay. And Let me explain to you why a distribution deal is very much important. Now, if you want to take your music further, if you want to knock on doors which you cannot knock on, to get those big features which Japraise is getting, you need a distribution company. Okay, these guys can knock on those doors which you can knock on, be it on artists, be it on markets. They can make you a star. Okay, but for you to be able to get their attention, you need to be making business sense on the streaming sites, not on the streets, on the streaming side. I think that's where Winky D and the whole of Zim Dance are now starting to realize that they've come a long way. Indeed, they've come a long way, but they've gone the wrong way. They're now starting to realize that they need to change, they need to re-strategize, and I'm glad Winky D is doing the very same thing. Because his Mugadin song is now #1 in the top 100 most streamed songs in Zimbabwe at the moment. So definitely he's learning the ropes and he's getting there, which is good news for Zimbabwean music. Okay, which means more artists are going to get distribution deals. We're going to take our music to the wall. It's very good news. Very good news. You can compare these guys all you want, but Winky D upping up his game on the streaming side, it's very good news. He might be dominating the streets, but we're glad that he's coming to the streaming side as well, because it makes business sense for the music industry, although it don't make business sense. Because if you compare our streams to those of the Nigerians, as much as we're open for business, we're bad for business. Because in Nigeria, I want to check this example. In Nigeria, they have over 100 million people. Okay, let's say a quarter of these people are streaming music every day. That's around 25 million. These 25 million people can guarantee you that every day they stream at least 50% local content. That's right, 50% local content every day. If we come back home, we have around 15 million people. Let's say a quarter of these people are streaming. That's around 3 million, which is probably way too high. But these 3 million people can only guarantee you to stream at most 15% local content. Yeah, that's how bad our music industry is. That's how bad we're not consuming our local content. We might be consuming on the streets, but when people go home, in the comfort of their own beds, they're not streaming local music. They're listening to Migos. So, in conclusion, Japraise's album Chitubu was doing extremely well. I mean, this guy is growing. He's growing exponentially fast. Like y equals to e to the power of x type of growth. Yeah, that's how fast he's growing. Because if you look 4 years ago when he released Kumbumra Mute, it has managed to garner around 790,000 views in 4 years. Right? Zieruda has managed to get around 2.7 million views in 2 years. But now we have Zamtsana, which managed to get around 2.6 million views in 3 months. Yeah. I mean, that's exponential growth. I mean, this guy is growing fast. And what impressed me the most about the Zamtsana video is because he managed to reach 1 million views in around 2 weeks, perhaps. Around 2 weeks, he managed to reach those 1 million views. Okay. But the last time he reached 1 million views in the very same amount of time, it was with Watora Mari. Of course, there was the Diamond Platinum pulling factor to factor in on that one. But this time, he did it all alone with his Uzumba sound. And which means that the international market is buying into his music. And like his hometown of Uzumba, man, this guy is coming in with a hat trick. Peace out.